Yo, hey everybody. Hey, it's good old Pinky in the Brain here. Actually, that's a good point. Um, am I Pinky or am I the Brain? Or who are you?
I'd like to think I'm a mix of both, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm Pinky though, for the most part. Pretty energetic,
Okay.
hopefully. But
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I'm obviously Meal Solutions, and that's my good old tournament co-host Tristan. Um, s-
hello.
yeah. So today we're gonna be going over our map list for the 2v2 tournament. We are pretty excited about it, and we think that there will be some great gameplay and hopefully should be pretty entertaining. Um,
That's the goal.
yeah, that's the goal for sure. Anything you want to say before I pull up the map list?
Um, I've just that with the map selection, we try to choose varied style, I suppose, and size is one of the goals we wanted to do, and we try to choose maps that would play differently to one another, I suppose, really, as like a grounding.
Yeah, all right. So let me go and pull up the list. It's coming up now. All right, so here we go. Just to give a quick rundown, here are the maps. It is Pro Green Ace, Pro Violet Reefs, Pro Shards, Sim Corners, Pro Eye of the Storm, Pro Golden Mullet, Pro The Chilly Rivers, Sim Claustrophobia, and Sim Riding the Fourth Wave. All right, so like Tristan was saying, we wanted to bring in different play styles, different sizes. Um, Now, what about anything specific within the maps? Were you looking for different attributes that they had, or um, what specifically in like more granular that were you looking for?
I think the main thing that, or the priority was like different play style. So like we have Corners, which is obviously the most popular map, and I know you're a big fan of it.
Mhm.
It's a metal map primarily, um, and so I thought that would be it's a key map really, and we just both enjoy it. Um, but then also, as I said, aesthetic looks. So we have like Chili Rivers or the Chili Rivers, which is quite a unique look. It's obviously been made by Tagrock, and I just thought that would be a nice map because of its unique art style, and also because I don't know many other maps, which is like a long land channel surrounded with two islands.
Mhm.
So I thought that would be an interesting map, and yeah, just generally try to get a wide covering. We did with our selection.
All right, and then also you'll notice there are two features down here. They are tournament exclusive features, so you will only see them on maps within this tournament, and they are of course made by Tristan himself. I,
Indeed.
I'll tell you, to me, it looks like you spent a ton of time putting these together.
Well, I can ensure that you can attest to similar contributions elsewhere in relation. But yeah, they do take a long time to get features going. I might say, and sometimes more than some map work. But yeah, they are pretty tedious to make.
Yeah. I so I don't want to go too far into them, but they are pretty cool features. So during the tournament, make sure to check them out and I'll just play around with them, see what happens.
Yeah, definitely some unique animations for them. Um, is there any maps that you particularly want to talk about? Obviously, we went for the standard uh, land, naval, and air maps, and then some other ones. But is there any particular that you'd want to talk about? Or
Well, for me personally, I feel like I'm probably best at the naval maps, and then I'm pretty decent at corners. Uh, and of course, since I made riding the fourth wave, I you know always want to talk about it. But specifically that one, I really am excited for because I've never come across a naval reclaim map.
no, me
And
neither.
yeah, so when I set out to start making maps, I wanted to do things that I hadn't seen done before. Um, and naval reclaim seems like right up that alley, and I'm extremely excited about it. Looking forward to playing with it.
Yeah, same.
Something for people to note is that the starting positions are pretty close to your teammate, and then can't really, yeah, I can't really put the mouse to show, but the little inlets on each side of the east and west, the starting positions are on each side of that, and then the opponents, of course, spawn directly across. So it'll be interesting. I made the map so that it can be played up to 5v5, but ideally 2v2. Other than that, I am interested in watching some games of Claustrophobia. I think that'll be pretty fun to see how,
Yeah,
especially some of the newer players handle it.
I think both these maps are. This is also one reason I think we chose them is because they're both. I feel, and including corners, those three are all going to be pretty hectic. You
Mm-hmm.
need to have a good quick click speed and strategy, I think. So I think I'll be interested to see obviously every map and every game. But I think that was some interesting maps we chose on this one. Do we want to go through from the top three, and why we chose them? Like the reason I thought that Green Ace would be good, for example, is that I just thought we needed a traditional land map.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some might say this map's more boring than others, but I can't agree or disagree necessarily. But I just think it's a nice traditional land map, and I thought for that reason it should be included.
Yep. Violet. So I don't really have anything else to add on for Green Ace, but for Violet Reefs, feel like a similar traditional naval map. It has a lot of metal spots, but when we were going through the list, we noticed that there weren't too many like pure naval maps that were one somewhat balanced, and then two like just fitting aesthetically.
Yeah, like this is a I would describe it as a crystal map. I
Mhm.
think a crystal water map, and it's also I think one thing we found is that we wanted a large, purely naval map to fill this role, and I felt like this. We'll go into some other maps later on, which we also thought about,
Yep.
which didn't make the cut. But yeah, I thought this fitted the bill pretty well.
All right, and then for an air map, we chose Shards. I personally don't care what air map is chosen because I'm traditionally just awful at them, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So why don't you put some words into why you picked that one?
Um, I mean, there's a lot of good air maps to be fair. Obviously, in the previous tournament we played, for example, Cluster Freak. So that one was out. I thought we can't really have the same map again. Not necessarily a bad thing. We might have put some same maps in, but like we just thought I just wanted to have a different take on it. And I just thought that this map's quite fun. It gives you options. So for example, the second player on each team has the choice to either go aggressive and attack the opponents, as in to expand onto the opponent's natural expansion, or to help potentially defend their allies' natural expansion. So I just think it could play quite interestingly. Um, it's not the largest air map, I will say, but I just think it's going to be an interesting map to play,
Yeah,
and I like it.
one thing I'll say about it is that it does appear to have a few different viable play styles. Like you can kind of like turtle up and tech up, and then otherwise you can just go like straight bomber and just bomb the crap out of some people. Um, I haven't figured out how I want to play it yet, so we'll see. I'm pretty terrified of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get practicing.
Yeah. All right, then there's corners. Really, I don't think there's much to say about it. Traditional, land,
Great map all
metal.
round, really. We
Yeah,
just love it. Yeah,
right. Everybody's put in a ton of games on it. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a staple.
Yep. All right.
I think probably Eye of the Storm could be also called a staple. I think it's a great map. I think it's. I mean, we've called it a hybrid map here. I think it is possibly the most hybrid map. I don't know. It's just got great versatility for playstyle. I think you can go hovers, you can go naval, land. I think you can go air as well. I think there's just so many options that you can do for this map. So I think it's just a great map, and I expect some good games on it.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the games that Rock and Tiptushi have played?
I haven't watched any of them lately, so I'm gonna make sure to check them out. But
Yeah,
oh, they're good.
I don't know. I haven't checked them out either. We've been busy working on stuff for the tournament, so
Yeah,
haven't really had a chance to look at that kind of stuff. But I am like I've only played it a few times, and the games that I've played have been pretty enjoyable. And there's been a lot of different things going on as far as like people, going strictly land, strictly sea,
yeah,
strictly air. So even mention hovers. So I
yeah.
am interested to see what all is viable, especially in a team setting on the map.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the dynamic changes for some of these maps of team games, and I'll be interested to see what strategies people come up with, and slightly worried if we're facing against them.
Right? Yeah.
It's difficult to sometimes change if they've got a solid plan.
All right. So the next map, Golden Mullet. I
I mean, I felt like it's a bit of a meme map.
yeah.
Um, I think I chose it kind of for that reason, but I just think we wanted a variation in size. It's a small map, islands, naval. I think you can go air on this. I think there's a lot of variation you can do, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've played it, I think, 5 times at the most. I'm not sure I've won at all on it. I
We'll change that.
yeah, right. Um, Given how I'm typically pretty good at naval, you'd think I'd be okay, but haven't been so far. Yeah, so the next Chili Rivers, the Rock Special. First of all, it's just a beautiful map in general. Um,
Yeah, it's great design.
like it a lot in that regard. Gives you time to build up and tech up.
Yeah,
One thing that I personally was looking for when selecting maps was to try to limit the maps to something that wouldn't take forever to play, because there's going to be time constraints already with having to organize 4 people to sit down and actually play against each other. This is the one map where I could see it like taking a long time to get through a game. So
I was gonna say I've had some absolute slogs on this map,
yeah,
over an hour. So yeah, I can see some long games on this, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Rock's going to pull out some razzle dazzle and just absolutely smash someone immediately as he's an expert on it. So we'll see.
Also, this is one where I could see some people doing some pretty crazy things. It's large enough so that you might be able to like sneak around and do some, I don't know, sumo drops or something. So that would be pretty cool to see.
I'd love to see some sumo drops. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. I look excited to see some games on this.
All right, Claustrophobia. If anyone has not seen this map yet, you need to just load it up and just admire its brilliance.
Yeah, the mini map is deceiving, I would say.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I thought my game was glitched. Like, I was like, why is the minimap just pure tan?
Yeah,
One thing that I learned through the map making process is that the features don't show up on the minimap. So, uh, while the minimap is tan, once you load into it, it's clearly not just blank like that.
yeah. I expect some. As I said, I think there'll be some hectic games on this map, and I look forward to playing it myself as well as seeing others struggle. I suppose.
Hmm.
But
All right, and then finally, riding the fourth wave, my map, I love it. This map will also contain one of the new features,
mhm.
so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Um, there is plenty of reclaim, but I will say that if the game goes long, be prepared to just start stalling on metal. It doesn't seem possible at first, but I could if the game kind of like stalls out, I could see that happening. Um, and there aren't many metal spots, so good luck.
I
Anything you
think
want to
it'll be
say
interesting.
from what you've seen? Like anything that you expect from it?
Um, Again, just hectic gameplay from when we've tested it. It's just you have to be on the ball pretty much all the time to make sure you're constantly reclaiming so you don't stall. So I'll be interested to see how people adapt. And as it's a new map, I'll be interested to see the strategies that people come up with. Like, are they going to take the time to go to land, or are they just going to focus entirely on naval, or are they going to even go air? So I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see people's economies as well, how that works on this map. So
definitely. All right. So yeah, that's a pretty good overview of the maps we chose. However, wanted to give you guys an insight of the other maps we were thinking about that we passed over. There are some definite ones that we kind of wish we could have included, but we thought 9 maps was just a good number in general.
yeah, wanted to make sure that all the maps were played thoroughly throughout the tournament and
Exactly.
had their chance to shine.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to pull up those alternatives now and just real quick run through Newport Soft Pack, Tar, Pro Polyp Patch, Pro UI, Pro Metal Mesas, Pro Springloaded, Pro Gods of War 2, Sim Cloud District, the new map, Pro Springloaded, Tar Absinthe Frappe, Tar Corndoghole, still don't understand that name, but cool, and then RDX Martian Conflict. Now, out of these, is there anyone like in particular that you really wish that we would have like put more thought into or considered?
I think most of them, to be honest. Like, I really actually was excited to get Newport Softpack in, because it's just a novel seaplane map. I'm actually awful at it, but I really enjoyed playing it because it was novel. You know, 'cause I hadn't seen. I don't know any other map that's a seaplane map primarily, and it was a good idea, by Breezy. So I thought that was a cool map to make. Martian Conflict probably as well. I've had some good games on that. What about
Yeah.
yourself?
So specifically for Newport Softpack, for one, I guess in Absinthe Frappe as well, the Varuna tile set, I just really like. I think they're beautiful. I like the color of the water.
Yeah, some of the Tier Kingdoms tile sets are really aesthetically pleasing.
Mhm. But then also you made Cloud District, which we played one game on. For actually, you haven't played any others on there, have you?
No, just that one, and
Yeah,
I died very quickly.
right. So one thing that I did was I I made a lot of labs, and then my intention was to use air cons to guard those labs, which is very inefficient. So I'll need to. This applies to really any air map that I play. I need to really like focus on getting up K-bot cons to guard those instead. Um, but from what I played, I enjoyed it. I'm just bad with air, so I don't expect to win very much on that map at all. But it's really cool. And actually, let me pull this up right now. Let me go back here. I just want to show everybody how much reclaim is on this darn map.
It's a lot.
Oh yeah, I can't do it that way. I have to go here. Cloud. All right, Cloud District. All right, get ready. There's like almost a freaking million metal to reclaim. It is insane. The buildings, the reclaimable buildings are the like square, I don't square structure things.
Houses, I don't know what they
Houses,
are. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
almost pyramid like. I don't know how to describe them really, but they are dense and they have a ton of metal, and as you can see, there's a ton of reclaim.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go and make an air reclaim map, you might as well go hard.
Right, yeah.
I don't know any. I just thought like as you were making the naval reclaim map and we already had the land reclaim, I just thought like it'd be quite fun to get like an air variant in there because I don't know any air reclaim maps. So I just thought this was a fun map. I don't know why I even got the idea for the name. I think it was Skyrim reference. If anyone knows that game, great game. But it's just a funny homage to it. But yeah, that's why I basically chose to make it. Um, what other maps have we not talked about here? Oh yeah, Polyp Patch. Unless there's anything else you want to say on Cloud District.
No, no.
Yeah, Polyp Patch. I think this is actually my first choice, or our first choice for Naval, and then you suggested Violet Reefs, which I think is a better map, a larger map for Naval, so will play out more interestingly. But yeah, Polyp Patch, just a decent Naval map. I don't really have anything specific to say about that.
No. I'll say the one time I played it against you, I felt like I was in the lead, and then like I lost, and I was
I remember
pretty
that game.
I was pretty salty from that. But we reviewed it and found out why I lost, and it's all good.
Yeah.
But I will say we were mentioning the maps from the last 1v1 tournament. On here, you'll see that there's Springloaded and Toxic Elitism that were from that tournament. I personally really like Toxic Elitism a lot,
Same.
and I had never played any sort of like reclaim map at all, and then I played that a few times, and once I got the hang of it, I was like, oh, this is really freaking cool.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
great map. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. And then Springloaded was just a pretty well-rounded hybrid map, and honestly, at that time, we were just trying to think of like what what are the different possibilities, and since we had just seen that from the tournament, we were like, oh yeah, Springloaded, we could do that.
Yeah. I was
Um,
awful at that map. I was not. I think I got bombed or like, and I think I lost most of the time I played that map. But it was it was a cool map and a fun map, but
mhm.
just
Yeah,
awful.
my match against Krogarth on that map was pretty hilarious. We bombed each other out, and it first of all, it was for a neutral viewer, it was probably very cringe to watch because we both played it pretty awful. But it's interesting. Real quick on Metal Mesas. I don't know. I've played it a few times. I didn't do too well. It's a metal
We've played
map.
it a few times, haven't we? I think
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
it's a metal map, but it's a small metal map, so I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah. I thought it's the novelty factor of it being such a small map with obviously a lot of resources. I mean, there's loads of geos on that map as well.
Hmm.
I just thought it could be interesting for a 2v2. I've not played 2v2s on it. I don't think I have at least. But I just thought the concept of it being small, heavy resources would make it interesting. I think the reason why we didn't choose it in the end was because it might it might just end with people building big Berthas or Timmies and just
Right.
HLTs and just camping, and I thought that might not be the most interesting to watch because there's basically only two, maybe three if you include channels to each player's base, and they can be pretty easily walled off. So I just thought, but no, it's a cool map, but that's basically why we in the end decided to not choose it.
Yeah, so for me, like I felt we already had a map that took up that space in corners, and I didn't
Yeah,
really feel like having something that similar to it.
yeah, I feel like most people probably won't want two metal maps, um, and also corners just does this sort of thing better, I would say, if you
Right,
want a
yeah,
hectic map. So,
exactly.
um, I suppose that leads us on to another popular map, God of War 2.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's just another staple. Um, we did think about adding it, but I thought, I personally thought that just I wanted to have some other maps which haven't necessarily been in the limelight as much as this, because I've played a lot of Gods of War 2. I love it; it's a great map, but I just thought maybe some other maps should take its spot.
Yep, agreed. All right.
Plus, Golden Mullet meme map.
Right, yeah, exactly. Corndoghole, the energy well. If any of you out there have not played with an energy well, it's actually pretty cool. So it's an energy reclaim that I think, does it start off by giving you a lot of energy? Is that how it works?
think I think yeah, it goes like from a. I think you can depends what you energy what you put down, but it goes like 1,000, 750, 500, 250, and it keeps repeating on
Hmm.
250 if I remember something like that. But yeah, it's a cool concept. I thought it was a really great map, and I've had some fun games on it. And this would have been another one I would have liked to put in for the unique factor. I would
Right.
say, this and the Seaplay map have got some very unique attributes.
Yep, exactly. And then lastly, Martian Conflict. Honestly, this probably could have gone into place of something like Green Ace, where it's
Mhm.
just a pseudo traditional land map, but there are a few different aspects as like you have the water around the outside, and then there is a decent amount of reclaim. But I've played it and I liked it. I liked the way it felt. It felt like there were plenty of resources for me to, try to go big and stuff. And
Yeah,
I think it's just a solid map.
it might be one of my favorite maps to release recently.
Yeah,
I've had some really fun games on it. I
yeah.
think for me, the reason we didn't choose it, I say for me, I didn't say we. For me, the reason we didn't choose it mainly is because it had naval aspects to it, and in order for it to surpass Green Ace, it would not have that. It would be able to. It wouldn't have that basically.
Hmm.
As much as I might actually think it plays better. Um, so I wanted a very traditional, straight down the line for Green Ice. But in terms of this map, I love it. It's a great map, and the reclaim on it makes it great fun. I've also utilized the naval, so I just think it's a great, well-rounded map.
Yep, agreed. All right, so yeah, that's pretty a little more in-depth rundown of the maps than I was anticipating, but hey, we got there. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I will say I've seen a lot of people mention our map list will favor Rock and Venom. Well, from what I've seen, Venom should be favored on pretty much any map that's played, but uh, apparently we've picked some of Rock's favorite and most played maps, and whatever. If we lose because of that, I don't care. Still had fun.
We're just gonna make sure that he's not on our group.
Right, yeah.
No, but I think people might be worrying a bit too much about that. Then again, I have not been around as long as some of the people making those suggestions. He's obviously a very good player. I don't know. I'm excited. I hope he's in my group. Bring it on. I'm
That's
playing you on
right.
Chili Rivers Rock.
Yes. I still remember, like, I played him on corners a few times. He's like, "Oh, you're pretty good. Have you played Chili Rivers?" And I was like, "No." And once everyone else found out, they, got a kick out of it because I at that time I had no idea that one he made the map and that he played it so much, and I got a kick out of that. It was pretty funny. Um, all right, so on the tournament, be on the lookout for more content, streams, videos, etc. We plan to do some pretty cool things, and yeah, I'm really excited for it, and hopefully it'll be pretty entertaining. I also really hope that some other people put out some content too. That would be really cool.
Yeah, hopefully.
All
It should
right.
be a good tournament.
Yes, I'm excited both as a host and as a player. Very excited for it. Any last words from you?
Uh, Good luck to everyone, I suppose.
Yes. Well, not against us, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
Please take out Rock and Venom for us, please. All right. Well, from myself and Tristan, have a good one. Take
Goodbye.
care. Bye bye.